Without struggle, there can be no progress. Words by Frederick Douglass, painted on the walls of a study hall named in his honor. I walked past these words at college in Atlanta almost daily for 2 years on my mission to be successful. However, I would learn that I had no concept of the true meanings of struggle, progress, or success. To me, in fall 2008, the struggle consisted of making it to my 8 o'clock classes, to the cafeteria in time to use my meal plan credits, or the worst of them, sitting in the financial aid office waiting to be called on. Success to me was getting good grades, graduating with my classmates, and building a few relationships with other college students. Now, there was nothing wrong with setting goals for achievement or networking with my colleagues, as setting expectations is a major part of being successful. But to evaluate my problem, I have to take my fellow Europe classmates back to business communications. So what? Why am I doing this? And what am I here for? I found myself asking these questions a year later constantly, contemplating switching my major and dealing with issues outside of school. Yet, when I could provide myself with no answer, I found my grades slipping, and I subsequently landed myself right back in Maryland, out of school, working 2 jobs at a time to not only support myself, but my now newborn son, Jacob. Meanwhile, my parents, family, and friends were looking at a young man who had previously shown so much promise, like, so what are you about to do? I still had no answer. Well, that was up until a friend of mine started to talk to me about the Year Up program. Joel Chandler rambled on about how this program would change my life. You get paid to take Nova classes. IT is a growing industry and blah, blah, blah. I didn't really care. I was sold a stipend check. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Yes, I had learned a great deal about professionalism at my previous institution, and I was pretty good with computers. But I was not at all prepared for the learning and development that I was about to endure in my Europe experience. Just a few years before, I had dragged my feet past Frederick Douglass Hall, and now I ironically found myself struggling to stay awake on the P-19 every morning while doing my homework riding over the Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge. After all, there was no way I was earning an infraction today. In my mind, I was sacrificing double shifts at the restaurant I worked just to come to some school that's not Morehouse. Therefore, I needed every penny of that $300 L&D stipend. My life consisted of class from 8:30 to 3:30 a year up, and then rushing to my restaurant from 5 to 1 a.m. And I would find what little time I could in between to get my homework done. I'm thinking to myself, man, the struggle is real, but I'm doing it. Or at least that was up until my cohort received our first evaluations. Yes, there were plenty of positive things to say, but the growth areas were far too humbling. I can participate more in class. I could admit that I look tired at times, or as my LC leader Casey would say, like a zombie. But where I thought I had it all together, I had to accept that I had to become adaptable to what Europe was trying to teach me. I began to notice little things as I changed my attitude. There were many less fortunate people that I would pass by on my commute, and I would think to myself, are these people really here begging for money on the side of the road because they lacked opportunity, or had they not taken advantage of the opportunities given to them? Maybe they didn't have the second chance that Europe was providing me. Or maybe they took that second chance for granted because they had too much pride to adapt to their situations. Who knew? But I was not about to let my pride keep me from being successful. I think it was then that my true struggle began. I actively pursued being more part of my Europe community, and I wanted to see my peers succeed just as much as I wanted to succeed. And I began to hurt that some of my peers fell short of success and left the program. To those of us graduates that stand here today, can we really say that we struggled as a class, as an LC, or as a cohort? Would any of us be here today if someone hadn't struggled for us years before? What is our success worth if we don't offer to struggle with one another and help each other succeed? Yes, we have all made it here to graduation. But if you think this is success, you are truly mistaken. We all have a long way to go. The fact that we are here demonstrates that we have successfully learned Europe's core values, And we all know well enough that they should not only transcend into our professional careers from 8 to 5, but into our lives 24/7. I refuse to take the opportunity that I was given and turn my back on the cohorts in life that follow behind me. My mentor, Cass, told me that you have not truly struggled until somebody climbs up your back to go higher than you have. Excuse me. Europe is here to empower urban talent to reach their potential. But in order to do that, we students, interns, and now alumni have to take Europe outside of our classrooms and corporations. If there was one thing that Europe taught me, it is that we all have the potential to make an impact in our community, small or large. We can do this by continuing to struggle together. That is when we will truly progress, and that is when we can truly close the opportunity divide. Now, in conclusion, I would like to congratulate the Europe graduating class of 2014, Living the Dream. I would like to extend a special thank you to the parents, the Europe staff and instructors who struggle with us through the L&D phase in SAU. I would like to thank all of the internship partners, and I would like to especially thank Gerald Shartavian for his mission for this program. You have all helped us take the first steps towards successful futures. I ask that you all continue to struggle with us until we have truly progressed. Thank you.